That's just beautiful. What a neat looking animal. We're pretty exposed to them though, huh? Getting close is gonna be tough.
Yeah. You know, I've been thinking about putting an Oryx hunt together for a few years, and to be able to come down here and hunt in New Mexico for these animals is just a different deal. I mean, optically, you know, for what we do for a living, it's a great way to come and test product.
That's something you don't see every day.
They're pretty alert creatures. They know we're here. There he goes.
He's not sticking around to see if we're gonna shoot him or not.
So this is pretty much what we're expecting all week, is kind of get out there and do some glassing before we decide where we're gonna go after.
We're just gonna do spot and stop. It's a big place and we can spend all our time walking. We're gonna use these good optics to save us a lot of steps.
We like that a lot.
All right.
Sounds good.
Good deal. The Oryx are beautiful animals. We're seeing lots of animals out there. Hopefully we can get on one that we want to take.
The New Mexico ranch Swarovski's hunting on this week covers some 360,000 acres of prime habitat for mule deer, pronghorn antelope, and desert bighorn sheep. But what this hunt is zeroing in on is the Oryx, a highly successful transplant introduced from Africa 40 years ago. And the lucky hunters will be Swarovski Optic North America's sales managers, Greg Enos and Jason Gebhardt.
Gosh, there's a bunch over there. Holy moly.
Is that one on top of the ridge there?
That one doesn't look too bad.
It's one of those species that you can actually do a free-range hunt and not have to go to Africa in order to do it. It's right here in New Mexico.
It is definitely not alone.
New Mexico's got a really unique system now where they call off-range hunts, and you can apply for these permits for basically any month of the year. So it just makes for a really unique opportunity here in New Mexico.
We drew the tag for the Oryx, and I literally had to go on the internet and look the animal up. I had never even seen an Oryx before. The coloration on their face is beautiful, black and white. When I saw it, it was just a real unique looking animal, real beautiful coloration, especially on their face with the 3 different colors, the gray, the white, and the black, and the contrast. They almost look like a ghost. Looking right back at me.
I was a little disappointed I wasn't going to get to hunt Oryx, but on the same token, I was kind of excited to come down here and be, you know, a bystander and really watch these guys go through the emotions of this hunt.
You can definitely see why good glass is so important on this hunt. If they're not moving, the way they blend in, all the rises, and if you don't have good clarity, you're gonna miss a lot of that.
So Dean, I've never seen you pushing a button on your binoculars. Mine doesn't have one. What does that button do?
Well, this is the first trip we've actually had the EL range, which is our 1042 EL with the rangefinder in it. And I'll tell you what, this is the first morning we've gotten to use it, and you learn pretty quickly how valuable it is having the rangefinder and the binocular in one unit. And it's just been beautiful. It's hot today. It's, you know, probably close to 100 degrees, so I tried to take as little gear as possible when we get out of the truck, and it's just awesome having this in one unit. You get up on these animals, and you know, a couple times already this morning I can just read out the distance pretty quick while I'm helping them judge the animals, so it just works out great.
It's been a long time coming, and people have been asking for them for a long time, but I think it's been worth the wait, huh?
Yeah. If I had a nickel for every time I've got asked the last few years when you're coming out with a binocular rangefinder, we'd probably be retired somewhere. Yeah. So the good news is it's a great product. The bad news is you've been asking me all morning about what range is this, what range is that, so I'm getting a little tired. So
why don't we trade off for the rest of the afternoon, huh?
Maybe I'll give them to you in a little bit.
All right.
The Oryx is known for being nearly shockproof, so it takes a hard-hitting caliber like the Winchester 300 Short Mag with a 180-grain ballistic silver-tip bullet, dead accurate HS precision rifle, and Swarovski scope to bring one down.
About a ½ inch high dead center. So you got that ballistic turret set up, that bottom sight in is right at 100?
Yeah, I've got the bottom sight in at 100, and then my downrange distances are 200, 300, 400, and then 10 more clicks past that for a 500 if we have to.
Good, that's perfect.
I think we're good.
Perfect. The good news is the gun's on. The bad news is no excuses.
No excuses anymore.
Range is hot.
We're about an inch right.
That's where you want it.
In '94, when we came here, we had approximately 30 Oryx on the ranch. It took us a few years to realize what the potential of these animals were.
New Mexico's Oryx were originally captured in Africa's Kalahari Desert, where they're called gemsbok. 18 were brought to the Albuquerque Zoo, and their offspring were released. Now numbering in the thousands, the hardy gemsbok knows how to survive.
It was much more challenging than I had expected. These are very wary animals. You've got to spot them from a long distance off. You know, they sometimes operate in larger herds and they're spread out. So you've got lots of eyes and ears looking at you. You really have to decide whether or not you're going to make a stalk and how you're going to approach the herd and which animal you're going to look for.
Being pretty good at sneaking up on these things, but just haven't found the right one yet.
You know, ED put me on a stalk yesterday morning, and it was just one of the neatest things. We got real close to 2 Oryx. They were kind of separated from the rest of the herd over in the watering hole, and we didn't want to have them blow out and send the rest of the herd running off. But we got so close, we were probably inside 50 yards to these 2 Oryx, and it was staring right at me, and it just seemed like it was getting ready to charge, and they had real pointy horns. And I whispered to ED, I said, if he comes at me, I'm going to shoot him, and he said, well, don't be a whip. It was just really neat to get that up close and personal to those animals.
Well, guys, it's close. Too close again, huh?
Yeah. We're seeing them, we're just getting a little too close.
I guess that's a bad problem to have, huh?
Yeah. We still got plenty of daylight left today.
And there's lots more Oryx to look at.
All right.
Coming down to hunt here in southern New Mexico, it's almost a little bit of a throwback hunt for me. I mean, certainly it's about the terrain. You come down here and you just have a lot of images of the Old West and how these guys settled and came through here. But then you get on a lot of these places down here where you're seeing buffalo and you're seeing desert bighorn sheep and a lot of game that we're not typically used to seeing. So, you know, just to come down here and, you know, hunt the Oryx, but also see some of these other species has just been an awesome experience.
ED, how many do you think are in that herd?
Yeah, I see at least 7 in there.
There's 2 that look really good, like we should probably go take a closer look at.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So yesterday morning, we got out there around 7 o'clock. We spotted a herd of about 7 animals.
You know, you can tell, you get out of the truck and as you start to think this might be the one that we're going after, you get a little more jump in your step and you start walking a little faster. And then that excitement level and that adrenaline, and it's sort of like a switch flips and the intensity of the hunt kind of goes up a couple of notches.
I'm gonna be up against those rocks. I'm gonna drop my binoculars too.
We got within about 300 yards in a rock pile. They were covered up by some brush.
Yeah. Yeah. I see 2 of them behind the bush there. There's a couple others behind that bush on the right. ED, how far is that? I'm at 200 right now.
Put 315, go ahead, set your turret. 300.
Okay, I'm gonna put it 300.
Toughened by evolving in Africa, the Oryx needs to be hit in the right place, in the heart-lung area, and even then, there's no guarantee it'll drop.
We just had perfect position. We were just waiting. They had no idea we were there. I'm looking through the scope, and then he said, okay, here's our Oryx. And it just turned broadside, and I thought I had the perfect shot. And I'm lurched up. I thought it was going to drop right there. And these things are like tanks. It just took off with the rest of the herd, and it went over the hill. And
Good shot, good shot.
was it a good hit?
It's a good hit.
You hit her good, you hit her good. They're tough animals, but she was hit hard.
We got collected ourselves, and we were pretty confident that we were going to find it on the other side of the hill, probably piled up, and he's down.
Nice.
It was an incredible journey, incredible incredible hunt, and I'm just overwhelmed by how tough these things are.
Oh, this is a great feeling.
Tell me about it, brother.
Awesome job. Good job.
Thank you, guys.
Good job.
Thanks for sticking with me.
You know, we came into this trip talking about how tough these animals are, and their will to live is just amazing.
Cool. Look at this.
Well, we first started talking about this hunt. You said you went online to really look at the Oryx.
Yeah.
Now you got your hands on his horns, and things have come full circle. Hopefully we'll get our hands on another one.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Nice job.
Thanks.
Day one, we saw a lot of good animals. We got a good idea of what was on the ranch, put in a couple of good stocks. Yeah, it's a ways away. This ranch is a massive ranch. It's over 360,000 acres. This is a great hunt to test your optics. If you don't have quality optics on a hunt like this, your chances for success go way down.
For 60-plus years, Swarovski Optic has been committed to the development and production of long-range sports optics. And true to the hunter's quest to get within reach of nature, Swarovski is the leading manufacturer of high-end optics.
Day two, we were able to get up on a bunch of animals and get within good range, but then when they winded us, we were done. There he goes. You tell me which way we need to go and we'll follow. Pressure was on. It was day three. It's the last day of the hunt. We had to produce that day.
Greg had shot his animal the day before, so we kind of decided we were all going to go out and help Jason try to find one.
So we get out, we start seeing a lot of animals. We would see them, they were out there, they were everywhere, but we just could not find anything to get on. Then around 9 or 10 o'clock, you start to think, you know, this is the last day, I'm going home without a trophy, and you start to mentally prepare yourself for that.
You know, we started out in the morning and we got up really high on this good vantage point, and we spotted a really good herd. I think there were 18 or 19 animals in there.
The problem was we could only see 8, and since you can only see 8, you have to assume there are a few more in there. But we got in there about 50 yards and blew one that we couldn't see out, and there was no way anybody could have seen that animal. It was right in the middle of a thicket, and he just took off out of there and picked up the rest of that group, and they headed straight west away from us.
We knew, you know, that portion of the hunt was over. You know, the wind kind of comes out of you, and, you know, you think, boy, he's been working so hard for the last few days. Is he ever going to get on an animal?
When you blow a stock, it's done. You're done with those animals. You have to go find another group to get on. I felt at that point that the hunt was over. I just, you know, I knew that we'd push those animals out of there. We were, you know, which made every animal in that area skittish, and we were going to have to change areas to really do anything. So if I got one more chance at this, I was going to be really lucky.
Jason Gebhardt's feeling a mounting sense of frustration as the last hunting day winds down. Now, it's his final chance to close in on a trophy bull.
So we all got together and decided it was time to start glassing, and we started to glass from 2 different vantage points to see if there was anything else around there.
Petey, I think that's a pretty good Oryx down there. We probably need to get in a little closer and really size him up, but he looks a lot bigger than what we've been seeing.
At about 11 o'clock, we bumped into the other group.
Hey guys, right over here behind us, we've got a pretty good animal.
He's only a couple hundred yards over the hill, so we should be able to get up over the wind's perfect for you.
Perfect, sounds good. All right, good luck.
All right, cool. We backtracked out of there, our motto, Steve and I. We saw what we thought was an Oryx. Dean and Greg and their crew were a little bit closer, and they confirmed that it was indeed a single Oryx. We had a feeling that this was probably going to be our last chance. This was a do or die, no mistakes hunt from here on out. So we decided to put the stock on from up high, use the mesquite to our advantage, and stayed real low, real quiet, real slow, all the way down. Let me range you. It's 223 yards from right here. Okay. Sure. The blood was pumping, the excitement was high, the hands were shaking. For once in these last 3 days, luck was on our side. It turned broadside at 120 yards and stopped.
Shoot it. Get him now.
A money shot. It was right there in the breadbasket. And this animal still is moving. It is still running hard away from us. And it disappears down out of view.
You know, you kind of get that sinking feeling as a hunter, like you know he made a good shot, but on the same token, until you recover that animal, you're not 100% sure.
You hit it pretty good, Jason.
Okay.
So it's a good possibility, you know, it'll be laying up here over the hill. You kind of just hopefully we can find him right there.
All right. So we worked our way around. Then there we had an animal.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Finally.
3 days, 2.5 days now, and able to finally get on him.
It's about time.
You know, he put so much time and effort, and we've been talking about this hunt for the last 6 months, and we get down here and we go through the heat and the terrain and getting on animals and not getting a good shot. And now you know he's gonna experience that feeling as a hunter to walk up on that animal for the first time and put his hands on those horns and just have that feeling of just ultimate satisfaction. Well, Jason, it took you a little longer this week, but we finally got the job done.
It did. Thank you guys for spotting that for us.
Yeah, we figured we had to get something going for you.
That's right.
So, worked out really good.
All the doubt finally leaves, the relief sets in. It's an incredible feeling. I hope that, you know, the day that feeling goes away is the day I stop hunting.